Samhain is the midpoint between the fall equinox and the winter solstice, initiating a spiritual rebirth in the dark womb of winter. This is a mystical time of profound magic, where our connection to the spirit world is at its strongest. Traditionally, this is the time to connect with our ancestors and to gather wisdom around the peaceful fire. Samhain, honored all over the world under different names, originated as an ancient Celtic celebration, and it is the most important Sabbath of the year, especially in the Gaelic, Scottish, Welsh, Irish, Druid, pagan, Wiccan, and Christian traditions. On the wheel of the year, Samhain is represented by the waning crescent moon, and it's also considered the start of the wheel of the year, and is considered the beginning of the new year, and still is to those who hold on to these ancient traditions. This idea or concept that Samhain is the start of a new year originates from the natural order of the birthing process. First, there is a call to birth something new, birth a new life, and this is initiated and activated by the fall equinox. Once that call has been answered, a new body begins to form and develop and grow. Meanwhile, the soul begins to merge with its physiology, discovering the nature of physicality of this existence, and to learn about its surroundings, all before this new life has even taken its first breath, which according to the wheel of the year is represented by Imbolc. Therefore, Samhain is considered the womb of creation, the true birthplace of new rhythms and cycles, and it all begins by first uniting and communing with the wisdom, foresight, guidance, and blessings from our ancestors, while the veil between our physical plane is resonating closest to the frequency of the spirit world. This is the time of year for deep, soulful introspection, strengthening our spiritual connection and developing our divination practice in order to forecast our future. This process begins by quieting the noise and busyness of our lives. And in this peaceful place of stillness and receptivity, listen to what is ready to be shed, released, let go, purged, and then in its place, what is ready to be called into being, what is ready to be formed, birthed, and created. All of this is ideally done in collaboration with our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels. Samhain is the point in the wheel of the year where we can reach a timeless synchronization of past, present, and future. Past meaning our ancestors, present meaning our current self, and future our legacy. So in order to fully understand and access this timeless space, we must know how to honor, reach, and communicate with our ancestors, as they are the past versions of ourselves, and they also reside outside the physical limitations of space and time. So they are the vital key to accessing our past and future within this present moment. And this ancestral honoring and communion is a customary tradition celebrated throughout the world. First, we have Samhain throughout the British Isles, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Ireland, as well as all of the British colonies, and in the pagan, Wiccan, Druid, and Christian traditions around the world. We also see it called All Souls Day and All Saints Day throughout every continent within the Christian faith, where you pray for the dead to be accepted into heaven. We also have Dia de los Muertos throughout Mexico. It's also an ancient Aztec tradition, long before the arrival of the Spanish, where they would leave offerings to their ancestors and celebrate and honor their ancestors. We have La Festa de l'Ombra, an old Italian tradition of leaving out offerings for their beloved departed. We also have winter nights elf finding, Frey finding, throughout the Norse traditions of the Scandinavian and Germanic cultures, honoring their ancestors and spirit guides and giving thanks for the land and honoring death and all of its wisdom. Genesia, a Greek celebration of honoring their deceased parents. Diezdi is a Slavic holiday celebrated in Poland, Lithuania, and Belarus, which is like a Thanksgiving dinner for the ancestors. There's also Haptuna, the Isle of Man's version of Samhain. And in modern-day North American cultures, we now celebrate Halloween, which has deviated so far from its traditional roots of honoring the dead. However, it still holds space on our calendars and marks this special time of the year. According to West African traditions, they honor their ancestors every single day. They even have an entire room in their house dedicated to their ancestors, including an ancestral shrine, altar, and table. And this is the first place they go to before starting their day, and it's the last place they go before going to sleep. In African cultures, understanding the power and importance of remembering your ancestors is a part of life. They understand that the choices you make now have a lasting effect for generations to come. So they live in this realm of accordance to what is being called forth and needed in the future, looking ahead 7 generations. That's 200 years into the future. Now, traditionally, for Samhain, you would deep clean your house in preparation for your ancestors to visit, smudging each room to clear out any negative energies, lighting a candle in each room, blessing each room with water from the full moon water or blessed rainwater or rose water. You would also place a line of salt around every outdoor threshold for protection from negative energies. It's also customary to leave an offering for the spirits of the house and the land, as well as creating an altar to honor and converse with your ancestors. And lastly, we do a deep physical and energetic cleanse of our own body and being, including our mind and emotional body. Here is a Samhain blessing for you. Samhain marks the end of the year. Time to remember the departed we hold dear. The nights are long, our senses are heightened. The souls that have passed are back to enlighten. We give thanks for our harvest and memories of old. Remembering their light keeps us warm from the cold. The end of one cycle is the beginning of the next, and may all of your days forward be abundantly blessed. Happy Samhain, everyone. Bye, guys.